Here we go.
We've made it to another year, 2025, so it's time to talk about my most anticipated movies, the movies that I'm looking forward to most this year. And 2025 is shaping up to be a pretty promising year for film. There was a lot of stuff that was pushed from 2024 to 2025 due to the strikes. We have a lot of new films from auteurs like Bong Joon-ho, Paul Thomas Anderson, Luca Guadagnino, Ryan Coogler, just to name a few. And we have a lot of big budget movies like Superman and the Lilo and Stitch movie and a remake of How to Train Your Dragon. There's a lot of good stuff this year, so be sure to join me down below in the comments. Let me know what movies you're looking forward to most. Because of how much interesting stuff is coming out this year, it was hard to really pinpoint a 10 or 15, so I'm doing 20. And without further ado, let's get started. At number 20, I have the newest movie in the Knives Out franchise now, which is Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. This movie would have been higher up had I have not been so disappointed with Glass Onion from a couple years back. It's not confirmed that this movie is coming out this year, but I think it's going to come out. I believe it already has wrapped filming. I think it's set in Ireland, which interests me. It has another stacked cast. I'm really hoping that Rian Johnson can give me another great mystery like the first Knives Out. At number 19, I have Freakier Friday, a movie that is a sequel to Freaky Friday. That's a movie that I have nostalgia for, and I revisited it, and I don't think it's a great movie, but I am excited to see if they can recapture that mid-2000s magic. And hopefully this doesn't feel just like a straight-to-streaming kind of movie. I'm glad it's going to theaters. I think that it'll definitely make more money than it would have on streaming. At number 18, I have the Michael Jackson biopic, Michael. This is one I'm going into cautiously optimistic. I, like so many people, am a fan of Michael Jackson. He is one of the best artists to ever do it. But he has a tragically twisted background, and I hope that the movie deals with it and it doesn't really make him out to be this hero, because he's not a hero. Basically what I'm trying to say is I hope that they don't just make him seem to be this perfect person. But really, I can't wait to see what Jafar Jackson, who was Michael Jackson's nephew, I can't wait to see what he does in the lead role as Michael. At number 17, I have Osgood Perkins' follow-up to Longlegs, the monkey. The first trailer that dropped, it seemed very twisted and had this like comedic nature to it. It's based on a Stephen King short story, and I loved Longlegs. It made my top 10 of 2024, so I can't wait to see what he does with the monkey. At 16, I have The Trashers from Cooper Raiff, another movie that is not confirmed to come out this year, but I really hope it does. It's based on a true story. It has David Harbour in the lead role and Cooper Hoffman. The reason why it makes this list is I adored Cha Cha Real Smooth, which was Cooper Raiff's other film that he directed in 2022. That's a movie that's very underrated as far as I see it, so if you haven't seen it, definitely go seek it out, and then maybe you'll be looking forward to The Trashers like I am. At 15, I have Marty Supreme, which stars Timothée Chalamet and Gwyneth Paltrow. It's loosely inspired by professional ping pong player Marty Reisman, and it's from director Josh Safdie, who co-directed Uncut Gems, and supposedly this movie is supposed to be in the vein of that movie. I mean, it makes sense considering he made that one, is now making this one. Timothée Chalamet is on a high right now. He delivered a fantastic performance as Bob Dylan in A Complete Unknown. I think that's why this movie made the list. I'm just really excited to see more of him. Number 14, I have A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, which is a tongue twister from director Kogonada. It stars Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie as co-leads. Kogonada directed a movie that not many people have seen called Columbus from a couple of years back. I think that movie is just incredible, and that's why I'm excited to see another film from him. He also did After Yang with Colin Farrell, which was a great movie too. It seems very ambitious from the little plot synopsis. It has an imaginative tale of two strangers and the extraordinary emotional journey that connects them. Whatever the hell that is, I'm in. Then I have After the Hunt from Luca Guadagnino, who he's just pumping out movies, dude. He's making movies that at its core are human stories, and those are the movies that I'm attracted to most. I've heard that the script is apparently really good. It has a splendid cast. You have Julia Roberts, Andrew Garfield, Iowa Debris, and of course Luca Guadagnino. So hoping this is going to be like a thriller potentially. At number 12, I have Companion, which is coming out in a few short weeks, but I'm very excited for it. It's from the same people behind Barbarian. I often find myself just thinking back on that movie and how original it was, and so many of us loved it and the journey that it brought us on. From the early buzz, it's supposed to be another twisted and fun journey, and another movie that you want to go in blind for, so I'm in. Number 11, I have the new Jurassic World movie, Jurassic World Rebirth. It's from director Gareth Edwards. Did Rogue One, The Creator, Godzilla. After seeing his previous films, this is a guy that clearly knows how to do sci-fi stories. I'm really hoping that this new Jurassic World movie can bring back a love for the franchise, something that Steven Spielberg did 30 plus years ago. I thought the first Jurassic World with Chris Pratt was the best one of the bunch, and I hope that this is just a fun blockbuster. Breaking us into our top 10, I have The Life of Chuck from Mike Flanagan. This movie premiered at TIFF. It won the People's Choice Award, and then it was picked up by Neon for distribution. I saw some absolutely loving it and it being one of their favorites that they saw in 2024. Some not being crazy about it, but some that definitely appreciated it. But apparently it's a very emotional movie. It's another movie adapted from a Stephen King novel. Apparently there's like musical sequences too, and there's one that people couldn't stop talking about on Twitter, and I think this could be really cool. At number 9, I have Sinners, the Ryan Coogler new movie. That teaser trailer, especially just seeing it in IMAX, I saw it ahead of when I saw the release of Interstellar. It just gave me chills. This movie looks really cool. There's not much known about it, except that it's like vampires during the KKK time period. That's a very interesting twist. It looks intense. Michael B. Jordan is the lead. At number 8, I have a movie called Him. This little plot synopsis got me hooked. A blood-chilling journey into the inner sanctum of fame, power, and the pursuit of excellence at any cost. Sounds like a gripping thriller. I believe it deals with the sports world. Marlon Wayans is in it, and I think that this could be a very interesting turn for him as an actor, going less from comedic work to more serious. For all I know, it could be a swing and a miss, but that plot synopsis really intrigued me. At number 7, I have 28 Years Later. Now, I've never seen the previous 28 movies, that being Days and Weeks. They are very acclaimed zombie movies. They are hard to find to watch. They already have 2 follow-up movies to 28 Years Later in the works. There's clearly a lot of faith behind this movie, and they want to bring back the franchise. This trailer dropped, and it just blew me away. It's one of the great teaser trailers, or just trailers in general, that I've seen in a while, maybe ever. There's not a lot of dialogue in it. It feels just like a bunch of scenes cut together, obviously, to really build the suspense and get you interested in going back into this creepy world that has been overtaken by zombies. It made this list because of that trailer, and now I can't wait to see it. Then I have Wicked for Good, which is the follow-up or part 2 to Wicked, which was one of my favorite movies of 2024. After watching part 1, I just immediately wanted to go watch part 2. I just can't wait to go back into the world of Oz. If you don't know, I have no prior knowledge of the original show. I know nothing about it until I watched part 1, and I don't want to know what happens in part 2. I can't wait to see what goes on and how it ends. At number 5, I have Celine Song's follow-up to Past Lives, Materialists. This movie has Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans, Pedro Pascal. That's a trio right there. They are great actors. I'm a big fan of all of them, and I adored Past Lives. It has quickly kind of snuck its way into my favorites of all time, really. Romantic dramas are films that I do tend to get swept up in, and I think that this could be another hit for Celine Song. Love is messy, and I think that she captured that so incredibly well with Past Lives. Hope she can do it again with Materialists. There's not much known about it, but I'm ready. I'm in for it. Top 4 is going to be all blockbusters, but I don't really care. I am hyped for all of these. At number 4, I have the live-action remake, Lilo and Stitch. The original Lilo and Stitch is one of my favorite animated movies, one of my favorite Disney movies, one of my favorite movies, period. And like many of you, I'm not crazy about live-action remakes. Why not just go watch the original movie? Writer-director Dean Fleischer Camp, who did Marcel the Shell with Shoes On a couple years ago, is at the helm of this movie. And I was blown away by how human and touching and poignant that movie, Marcel the Shell, was. If he can bring that touch that he had with that movie to this Lilo and Stitch movie and make this an emotional story, I think that's what really can make it stand out as a movie that feels warranted, as a remake that feels like, okay, yeah, we know why they did another version of the story. There's a lot of room to expand the Lilo and Stitch world, and I hope that that's what they do with this movie. I'm excited for it. At number 3, I do have another live-action remake, How to Train Your Dragon. I can't lie, the teaser trailer that dropped, goosebumps from head to toe watching it. I remember really liking the animated movies. I never saw the third one. I can't wait to go back into that world. But again, why do we need another story like this? I know so many of you are asking that. I ask myself that too. But we have the same director from the animated movies doing this one. There's another world that you could make more expansive and add more things to it. It's such a rich world, and who knows, maybe it's just a straight up cash grab, but the fact that that writer-director is attached to do a live action movie of his original animated movie, there really had to have been something there to hook him and intrigue him to do another movie of the How to Train Your Dragon world and a remake of his prior movie. Maybe I'm blinded by my pure curiosity and intrigued by that trailer, but we'll see. At number 2, I have the Fantastic Four First Steps. Like many MCU fans, I have been waiting to see the Fantastic Four jump into the universe. It's supposed to be set in another universe, not in the main MCU timeline. We've never really gotten a great adaptation of the comics. It sounds like for this iteration of the Fantastic Four, they're going all the way back. They're going to the 60s. I've always been fascinated with that time period. This is a futuristic, retro-inspired world. I'm curious to see if it feels like its own thing and it feels detached from the MCU and not over-obsessed with just being connected to the overall greater universe. I have faith in Matt Shakman because I loved WandaVision, but here's hoping this is a incredible MCU movie because we need another one. But at my number 1, I have Superman from James Gunn. A little bit of context, I probably watched that teaser trailer when it dropped like 2 weeks ago, maybe 10 times over within a 2-hour span of it dropping online. I just couldn't get enough of it. It inspired hope, and I think that we really need that right now. Superman is a character that I feel like I continuously forget just how much interest I have in him and his backstory. I'm so excited that I might dive into Smallville, that TV show. I can't wait to go back and watch all the other Superman movies leading up to it. Maybe even read some of the comics. This feels like it's going to be very committed to adapting from the comics. I have a lot of faith in this DC Studios. I do hope that it succeeds because it does feel like it's going to be movies that are for the fans, by the fans, especially for longtime DC Comics fans who have been disappointed by what has come out before this. I think there's a bright future ahead, and that trailer, it had me emotional, man. But those are my most anticipated movies of 2025. Hope that you are all as excited as I am for what's in store. Be sure to let me know what movies you're looking forward to. Hopefully after watching this video, you now know of some movies that are coming out that you might not have known of before. I love talking about movies and getting excited for what's in store and what movies are going to come out. I want to thank you so much for watching this video and look forward to a bunch more videos in 2025. My name is Ben, people call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.